Hello BMW enthusiasts, Raf here with I don't know what I'm doing, and today real fast, hopefully video, really only applicable to E61 owners, but this is a really cheap, really easy fix for something that potentially can become a huge problem. Let me show you the problem that I have with my car. So here we go, I'm gonna open my, so this only applies to if you have the dreaded power lift gate. And what happens is, this is the strut that does all the work. It's pressurized and hopefully it doesn't leak. When it starts to leak, it's time to replace your system with a non-power system because it costs like $2,500 for these replacement parts and stuff. It's all crazy. But what happens is, and this happens to a lot of these, and this is when I bought this car, this was the problem with it. Now I fixed it, I've broken it again just for you. What happens is, sometimes you open this, and this pops out. And then it comes flying around, and banging around. You can't close the gate, or it doesn't open properly. This thing slides around in here, and is a huge, terrible disaster, especially if your loved one who is not mechanically inclined uses the car, and then this happens to them, and then they're somewhere far away, and they phone you at work, and you've got to go out and save them. The previous owner of this car, what they did is just never opened. He's like, this is broken. I never open the tailgate. I use the glass only. You can open just the glass. There's a way to fix it that is really cheap, really easy. You won't believe how cheap it is. It is a 2-cent zap strap. So how this works, what's going on here is, if you can see this thing, it's not on the hinge, it's kind of flying around. And what happens is, if you imagine oops, I look like a 90s rap star. There is a nipple here that's sticking out of the car. And the strut fits onto the nipple and then rotates on the nipple as it closes and opens. It rotates on the nipple. Now, I presume there used to be some kind of ring or something that held it on to the nipple. But over time, this area, water flows down here, whatever, that ring probably got rusted. It's all rusty here. I don't know if you can see in there. I'll kind of zoom it in, and then you can see that it was all rusty. So the first thing you want to do, if your thing isn't falling apart, like mine was, is you want to open this up, and you want to spray some lithium grease or any kind of grease in there. Lithium grease is good. It doesn't allow water in, and it's pretty thick, like it stays around for a long time. So that's what I did, is I put a bunch of lithium grease in there. So that you want to do that to prevent it from rusting. But if yours has failed, then what you have to do, right, is you want this to stay on. So what you do is make sure it's fitted on. Once you've greased it, it's fitted on perfectly. And then, actually, I'm going to move you guys so you can see. So see, we're looking down, and you can see this gap here. And what you do is you thread the zap strap through that gap and then tighten it around. You can probably do another one on there. And so what ends up happening is when you do that, what ends up happening is the zap strap holds the strut from going out this way and swinging off the nipple. It's that easy. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is I'm going to thread a zap strap. So it's all greasy here and gross, but that's good. And just make sure that it's on right and snapped on all the way. I'm actually not sure that it is. There we go. You heard the click, it kind of clicks on. I think that's good. And I did this months ago, and I actually made a video for you months ago, but I wasn't 100% sure, and the quality of the video wasn't up to standard. So, and I wasn't sure that it was going to keep working, but I did it months ago, and it's lasted for months. So now I'm threading through the zap strap. Okay, so before I tighten it, see, it's threaded through, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull it and tighten it. Okay, and how I'm going to tighten it is I'm going to use these needle nose pliers, because I find that you can get some really good purchase. So I'm just doing it with my finger now. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm just doing it with my finger, and then the last little bit, I grab them and hold it. And so it's perfectly tight against the strut. So now, there's no way it can't come off. The only way it can come off is if it lifts up too high and pops off. But we're gonna prevent that too. So then I'm gonna cut off the excess with some little wire cutters. Here we go. Garbage. And let's grab another zap strap and see if we can do the same on the bottom bit. There's actually a cutaway here, so I actually don't think it will work on the bottom bit. No, you know what? It's not gonna work on the bottom bit, so. But this has worked for me, and it has lasted months, and it never popped off. And before, it was popping off constantly, so it looks like that's a good solution. No need to never open your gate because you got zap straps. And, you know, you can wait for it to break later. So there you go. That's an easy fix. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe or whatever. There you go. Thanks. See you next time.